And we're live on a Sunday Funday at like 6:50 a.m., which means it's pretty much, the beginning of the day on the East Coast. What you gonna do? What's up, everybody? I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, and messenger of God. And the crowd goes wild. Yeah, this fucking crowd goes crazy. And the hood goes crazy. What's up, new people? Old people? Stalkers and everything in between. What's up, what's up? Hey, I did a post last night on my community page reaffirming why I say I'm all those things and more. Because, by definition, I'm those things. I am an earth angel. I am a mystic. I am a medium. I am a seer. I am a sage. I'm an earth angel, fallen angel. I am a star seed from planetary freaking beings. I am their star that they seeded here on Earth. I am a light worker. I am part of the Galactic Federation of Light. Whatever, God's light. Part of all of that. What am I really, though? I'm God's first creation of the divine feminine here incarnated in the flesh to teach you the divine feminine awakening. Anyway, so I did that. I shared a story and stuff. This morning I just want to do a little brief teaching about the prophets. It's Sunday. You don't know about the prophets? Go to church. If you're scared, go to church. There's one on every corner. Go learn something about God. Learn a part about God that you didn't know, and the people that worship him that you don't believe in. You know what I mean? Don't persecute him, but go see. There's people all over the world that know God. They have a version of God that they freaking pray to. So I want to talk about Moses. I want to talk about the fall of Egypt. Last night I was guided to, after everything, we were guided to watch The Prince of Egypt on Netflix. Do you guys know the story of Moses? Do you? Do you at all? Go watch the cartoon version. It'll make you cry. Well, that was a difficult thing for me. That was a difficult thing for all of us gods. But no more than watching Atlantis fall. No more than watching all of them fall. We've watched and watched. This is what God does. He's been doing this. And that's where I'm here for us. Oh, God is here. We get to witness his wonders. This is what we come for. We don't care about you. We want to see what God's going to do with you. How is he going to save his people? Who is he going to use this time? You know what I mean? It goes back to me. You can deny me all you fucking want. It does no good, though. It's just because your ego doesn't want to think there's something outside of yourself. I tell you who the fuck I am, and the books tell you who I am, and the books told you who Jesus was and who everybody else was, but your mind will not accept this programming, this truth. To you, it's just a lie, because somebody else told you differently, and you put more on that person than the actual proof in front of you. You choose not to find out what the true truth is. So, going back to it, the Moses story, I was Isis. I was one that set the foundations of the gods, you know what I mean? I set the foundation in Egypt. But that goes back to Lilith. Truthfully, all your children will die. Yeah, that's it. But not this time. But ultimately, yeah, what happened? Oh, did you watch the movie? It's the same thing that happens in every church. The priests lie about God's power. What happened during that time? It was undeniable that God, the Hebrew God, had come, and he was unpleased by how we had treated his people. Now, that's the thing, is do you fight a God with your God, or do you accept that God is here? Oh, the Egyptians didn't. They chose to put their beliefs in their gods above, the God that they were witnessing. Was their gods false? No, but he wasn't we weren't in charge. All gods submit to God, the true God, and they described it perfectly. A white light and a voice. And that's how it is when he comes to you. It's a vision, it's a dream, and it's his voice, or the voice of someone else, or your own voice. That's how he speaks, whichever way you shall hear him. You know what I mean? And that's how Moses lost his eyesight. It's like, you can't look upon God. You can't look upon the light. And that's it, is you put your face to the ground, bro. You put your face to the ground in the presence of God. Why do they tell you to bow your heads and close your eyes? Because show reverence, protect your eyes, and see him inside of your heart. That's what it came down to. Pharisee kept asking him, is this God real? And his priests kept saying, no, our gods are more powerful. His God isn't real. That's a joke. And that's what goes back to, many leaders before and after. Is like, they had a fucking cabinet of fucking bullshitters that told them that things were okay. At this particular moment, I'm seeing that movie, The King. We all go into leadership with the idea of, leading the people into greatness and cleaning up the mess of our ancestors and being a better leader than those that came before us. But what happens is you get, you get the same disciples at the same, man's desire to control. So even though me as a leader have no desire to control people, I just want to save them, I put a couple people with me that realize the power that we have, and they want to use that power to control the people. Ergo, the churches. But the churches don't have any power over you. They put power over you with their fears, the fear that their God is going to persecute you for not being like them. But they're hypocritical. They don't even walk in the message that they deliver. And so, going back to it, it was hard times to watch our children die. It's not the first time. Trust me. I've done this a billion times, and that's why this time is going to be hard. And I tell Royce and I tell Logic, we stand down this time. We don't fight for these people. God is fighting these people. We sit and watch them when we do what we couldn't do before. We stand down. We don't be God. We let God destroy the people that he wants to destroy, and we understand that it's him, that he's doing this for the betterment of all kind. That's it. How does he destroy people? With his own people, bro. Didn't you watch? Don't you know how God works? God lives within all of us. He can strike the vengeance inside of all of us. There's no devil that comes over. There's no thing that can come over a person that God isn't watching or allowing or had done himself. You don't want to believe that's God. You believe that's evil. You believe it's something. Why? Because you were told. You guys were told that's not God. You've long forgotten about God and his works after Jesus came. You figured that, Jesus was God, and you just had to be like, do what the church has said. Follow Moses' 10 commandments. Moses came before Jesus, bro. And in essence, you know what I mean? You could go back and forth and say this prophet was more powerful than that. What about John the Baptist? What about the Mayans? What about all of us that knew Jesus was coming? You know what I mean? You could say that we were more knowing than Jesus, because Jesus didn't know. Not until he was taken into the, you know what I mean? And that's it. You don't know shit till you go into that forest with God and he reveals the truth to you. And he gives you your purpose. That's what I mean. You guys calling on Archangel fucking Gabriel. Are you serious right now? Do you know what happens when that angel blows that horn? Your life is forever changed. You don't get to miss that message. It's not him delivering your messages to God. It's him directly delivering a message straight to your heart from God himself. It is time. That is it. And that was the first angel I met. Oh, shit, did he scare me. I don't fuck around with. I'm not scared of him anymore. But the purpose that he brings, the message that he brings is scary. When you see God or you see his angels, you know that he's coming for you. You guys are scared of death. That's God. You're scared of God coming to get you and take you home. You're afraid of facing your God. Why? Because of what people have told you your God is. Why do you think he's come to take you home? It's because you know what I mean? You've lost home. You're completely away from him. He must bring you home now. They've destroyed you. He must bring you back. And that's just kind of how it goes, and that's it. Moses, there's many of us. We thought we were something. We thought we were just a plain person. We thought we had a good life. We thought we were doing what was right. Until God came and showed us, no, you are not right. This is how you become right. Help my people. You've persecuted my people for too long. And that goes back to Paul. He's out here killing Christians, bro. It goes back to Matthew. You know what I mean? All of them. They were out there, we were the fallen. We were out for God's people before we became God's people. And that's me. Lilith. You You work for God. In this lifetime. Don't ask me about those other lifetimes. That's not this lifetime. You know what I mean? And that's it. Are you going to repeat your other lifetimes? Are you going to be a perpetrator for lifetime after lifetime? You're going to be the so-called devil of this story. You're going to be bigger than God in this story at this time. Your purpose is more important than the purpose of mankind. And that's it, is how can you look past mankind like they don't need you? Like you can't help them. All of us can help somebody. And if all of us help somebody, then everyone wouldn't be so helpless. You know? And that's what it is. Going back to my teaching yesterday is, we incarnated for this. You know what I mean? We surrendered our own fleshly desires to serve a God. How many of you really did? How many of you are ready to answer that calling? And that's what it says. Many are called, few are chosen. It's a free will choice. He didn't choose you, you chose. I mean, in essence, Moses can say, why me? But he was always chosen from birth to be that man of power. You had to go there to be here. They would never have known who you were if you didn't go through that. And that's it. His whole life, Jesus, whole life, all of them. Mary, I'm married. I'm going to have a baby. Not his baby. Wait, what? And that's just it, is, when God calls, that calling changes everything. And it's up to you to answer that calling and to walk in it. And yes, everyone's going to persecute you. Did you see the video? His own brother and sister believed him to be nothing more than a fucking slave after it was all done. Oh, now you're one of us, huh? No power, no nothing. And you know what I mean? No, I am, and I've seen your God, and your God has spoken to me, and he said, let you go. And that goes back to all of you that don't understand why I teach witchcraft and stuff. They're God's people, bro. They lost their way just as much as the Egyptians, just as much as the Muslims, everybody. They've lost their way. They turned against God, and they found, you know what I mean? Going back to, I just posted it, Moonlight Guidance. You've been doing magic against people without knowing who you were doing it to, all because you believe yourself more powerful than God. You're mad at God because of what had happened in your childhood, so you went to become your own God. It's the truth. I'm not going to expose to what happened to her in her childhood, but if she spent enough time on my page, she could heal it. And that's it. You could just call these practitioners, you can email these practitioners, and they'll do work on anybody, because that makes them feel powerful, and they'll tell you they're helping you. What about me, the person you did the magic on? What about the love spell that you put on people? What about the bindings? What about the stuff you put on people that you don't know you're doing? What about us? All you care about is the paying, the paying crowd, so you could tell them, over 1,000 5-star reviews. Not from us. God's reviewing those plays, bro. You had no right to do that to people. You don't know who you're putting magic on. And you done fucked up now. Because I wasn't the only one you did this to. I'm just the first one to become aware of it. Do you know my name? Lisa Ware. Yeah, I'm fully aware of the bullshit. Why didn't God tell me? And I told him that in the beginning. Why did you let people do this? Because you were strong enough, and because that it was part of the game. You had to do this. You had to sin upon me to get your judgment. They knew you would do it. You could not, in your flesh, you could not deny your flesh its desire for power and control. And that's what I bring out. You will sin upon me, but it'll be the last person you sin upon. And that's it. Keep an honest man honest. You're a good person until you meet me, and then the truth comes out of who is underneath that skin. And God sees it. He pulls it to the surface for all to see. And then he judges you for all to see. And that's just the truth. It's like, you were false before you got to me. I'm here to bring the light to your falsities. And you will pay. And that's just it. It's like, I'm not in your pocket. I'm not in it. That's God, bro. You did it by getting into my pockets, by getting into my energy, by getting into my life and trying to have more control and power over a woman, what you thought was a regular schmegular. So was Jesus, bro. So was Moses. So was everyone. They were just people until God made them more than what you presume them to be. Your pope is just a person with no power. Your church, your doctors, your lawyers, your car, your mother, these are people with no power but the power to manipulate your thoughts, to make you weaker than them and believe in them and look to them for your answers. Where's God? You've made these people your gods. These teachings, these things of this earth are your gods. I'm here to show you God. That's all I do. God is alive, and he has always lived, and he lives within you and everywhere around you, and that's what I teach you. Oh, you might be walking karma. I am Lilith. I walk with the fucking flame of justice of karma, yeah. Yes, y'all. In the sense of, I don't judge you. Who am I to judge when I have done everything there is to destroy mankind in my past lives? I'm here to atone for what I've done and make you aware that if I can be forgiven, so shall you. But you shall also do the same works to redeem yourself from what you have done. You can't buy your way back into heaven. There's no way to buy your way back in heaven. You have to walk yourself right back in with your head held high. But you can't walk up to God when you know what you've done. And that's it. Know thyself. What does it take to get back to heaven? A confession of the mouth? To confess God is real and that Jesus really did die so that I could live freely, so that I don't have to go to the altar with my best goat. I don't have to lose an arm or a leg for the sins that I've done against man. I don't have to be persecuted. Jesus did that for me. He took the beating for what I was going to do later. And I accept that he took that beating. Right? And I ask you, God, to forgive me for my sins. And to be born, to be reborn in a Christ-likeness. To walk with you in the spirit and no longer in my flesh of what it wants and desires and needs, but to walk in the understanding that you will provide for me, that you love me, that you protect me, and that you have given me a purpose here. And then you go and you get your baptism, and you know what I mean, and you raise, and you change your life. You start serving God. You start understanding what those rules were, what those commandments were. Gave us 10 rules, and then Jesus told us how to walk it. These weren't hard. And yet you guys think that just because you don't kill nobody and you don't lie, which you do all the time, and that you don't steal and that you don't covet, you do all the time. You know what I mean? You believe that you're not these things. You're not breaking these rules. Rules that were put on from all. Do you understand? He destroyed he completely changed the world. There was no way out for them. He parted the sea. He walked them through it. He cleaned everything out. By water, I might point out. Just like Noah. Washed away their enemies. Set them on a new path with new rules. That's it. Welcome to the awakening. He will do the same for you. He will wash away your enemies. He will set you on a new path with new rules. And he will make you a leader of others to walk that path. He does it with anybody and everybody that can harness it, because it's inside of us. God who gives us strength to be him on earth. You're being bad gods. He gave you the power to be God, but your idea of God is being, on Forbes' list. Driving a fucking, you know what I mean? Driving a Tesla. The new iPhone 16. You know what I mean? The hottest, the fall edition of Fashion Week. None of that is God. That's all the fucking, you know what I mean? That's all royalty. That's you wanting to be in a place of power. To be part of the royal family. These are not God's people. Jesus didn't wear gold or silver. None of us did. This isn't what we came for. Those are the things of the flesh that guide the flesh away from the spirit. If I just have these things. And that goes back to your sinning heart. coveting, lustful, envy, gluttony, fucking pride, adversary, the 7 deadly sins. It's like, come on, y'all. I'm not here to persecute you because we all carry them within us. We're of the flesh. I'm here to get you out of the flesh, to forgive yourself, to forgive others, and to release these desires, these temptations of the flesh. Don't get me wrong, it's hard. You pray to God to take away these feelings, these wants, these angers, these pains, I want vengeance, I want security, I want love, I want all these things that you promised me, God. I will go out and get them if you don't give them to me. All right, go ahead. Go get what you want. The world is yours. Seize the day, motherfucker. And he will. But then you sit there and you've worked your whole life to get such things, and you're nothing more than a fucking empty king or queen. You have your cup full of all your fucking, all this shit you thought you were going to bring, that was going to bring you joy, and it has no taste. I'm seeing Davy Jones, what I wouldn't give to have the taste of the wine. And that goes back to the Matrix. If you could just put me back in there and I could be happy off of little shit like I used to, where the world was just enough for me, where it was perfect. I loved being I loved being part of the world. I loved that. Yeah, but there was no love. You didn't love it. It's just all that you knew. And now that you don't know it anymore, you're lost, abandoned, alone, with no idea of what am I supposed to do now. And that's where you go back to God. Do what he tells you. When you're lost, you do your purpose. You find your way back to your purpose. When you're doing too much of you, you lose your way. What am I doing? I'm hearing Drake. What am I doing? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm doing me. Yeah, you got to take care of you, but not to where you set apart and you're above all. You just got to make sure you're good enough to take care of others. And that's what the whole journey is, the journey to God, whether it be, what is your God? Who is your God? And is this your version of God because it fits you best? It's easiest to fit into this church, into this religion, into, these teachings. I can follow these rules, but these rules are too much. Your God asked for too much from me. I'd rather go to this God. I'd rather go here where God doesn't want me, where God doesn't need me. Bro, there's nowhere you can go where God doesn't want you and doesn't need you. You think that he's left you, but you're just running from him. He'll never leave you. And that's what she said. In all my life, I never thought that God heard my prayers. He hears you. You just aren't faithful enough to know that he's coming to answer you. And again, going back to the Egyptians, he set them free only to walk them straight into fucking, another problem. All right, we'll set you free from this, but now you have to learn how to survive on your own without being told. They didn't know how to survive without being told. It took them 40 fucking years around the same fucking mountain. He did that. He didn't just give it to them. He made them work for it. They had 40 years to learn. You know what I mean? Everything that you've learned, all these years of being a slave, now you must unlearn that and learn how to be free. And that's the awakening. It's like, how do I learn to be free when all I know is to be captive? You know what I mean? And that's why you keep going back to it. I'm seeing Mowgli. You know what I mean? They told him to go to the man village. They let him out of the man village, but he's just, he's free to roam the village, but all he wants to do is go back to where he came from. There's no way to go back to the forest, even though he's in the forest. Everything's still there with him. Just can't go back to who he was before this. And that's it. We were all something before God made us something far more important. We all were, Kanye was something amazing to the world before God decided he needed him for something else. And that's where Kanye fell apart, because he couldn't be what God wanted. And after God spoke, he couldn't be what the world wanted anymore either. And he got lost in the in-between. He's still trying to make his way back to the world before God. But he'll never be able to fit in that skin again. Look at his skin. It's not funny. But, I mean, you can't. You'll try. Trust me, I do it too. You want to go back to something familiar. The people you know, the places you know, the knowing. You want to go back to the known when you're spending all this time in the unknown all by yourself. But you're not. Here comes Michael Jackson. You are not. I always suggest this every Friday morning, please. Sunday morning, start your morning with some Michael Jackson. Why do I say that? Because he's the frequency of love. You can pick any Michael Jackson song and it's going to turn up your vibration into love. You know what I mean? You can do that anytime. You don't have to just do it on a Sunday. You can always change your vibration with Michael Jackson. And that's it. He had the power to do such a thing. Now, going back to some of you other songwriters and singers, I turn on your music, you're going to fuck up my day, bro. You're going to fuck up my day. That's just it. I'm going to try to teach you to change people's, you know what I mean, to make their day better by your voice, not worse by your feelings, you know. Going back to you musicians, I know you're lost. How am I supposed to do something I've never done before? I need someone else to show me how to do this. It goes back to Vicious, and that goes back to everybody, you know, waiting for that next big thing. You're waiting to see someone do what you need to do. You're waiting to see someone become what you're too afraid to do on your own because you don't know what it looks like. Hey, bro, I'm out here doing something that's never been done before. I don't know what you thought it was going to look like, and I tell you all the time, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just doing it and doing it well, and you can do it better now that you've seen it done. That's it. I set the standard. Now you shoot past it. You see what it is. Now do it better. And that's, you know, that's the story of the ancestors. They can only make their mark. I can only do so much in my own skin. But others will read my stories and they will do greater lengths. They will take this to greater lengths. They will have more of an impact. And that goes back to Kobe and Pac. They could only do so much, but here I am to make it bigger. You know what I mean? Those that came before me, they did what they could. They put the foundation of what it was. So people like me could come and see, all right, you're the standard. I can be better. Now, am I going to be better? They know I will. They know I will. But that's the importance of all of this, is be better than us. We're here to guide you to be better than us, to learn from our mistakes, to walk in our greatness, and even in your own. You are a chosen one. You are the chosen one of this bloodline. We believe in you. We're protecting you. We're teaching you. We're sending you, you know what I mean, challenges to make you stronger. We're making you that sharp sword. You're no longer a dull knife, but a sharp sword with intellect and will. You bear the sword of truth. You can do this. Really? I don't even know how to swing a sword. Is that legal? Am I legally allowed to have this sword? Is how it be. And it's a relationship between you and the spirit and what the spirit is asking of you. And that's it, you know, going back to the movie. He saw a vision. God spoke to him. He ran to his wife and was like, she's like, but you're one man. I'm only one woman, but I'm changing the world. You're only one man. If we put one woman and one man together, how much more can we do this? And that goes back to my 12. I told them in the beginning, why you? Because you have the power to change the world. He put you in a place of power, Moses. He put you on the top so that you could change it from the top to the bottom. You just needed someone to guide you. You needed a priestess to guide you back so you could guide your people as a good leader. I was never here to overtake my 12. I was here to guide them so they could guide others. Their position is important. Their people are hurting just like them. They stand for a pain and suffering of this world, each and every one of them. And they have millions of followers that resonate with that. If they can stand up to their pain and suffering, they can save their millions. And their millions will save billions. And we save the world. One person at a time. One feeling at a time. One memory at a time. One testimony at a time. You know, I don't really, going back to Marshall and that song he made, you know, about everything. changing how parents like him and myself feel. You know, he's speaking for those of us that are filled with regret for the decisions we made above our children. I personally don't want to hear that shit because I don't want to live in the regret but I've already had to have those deep, dark conversations with my children. But that's it, is you have a way, you have a voice, and you can change people. You can change them and you can release them. That song is him releasing himself. Somebody Help Me, I think is what it was called. He's telling you how he suffered from the, from the shame and the blame of his life choices and how they affected those around him. And he's asking for atonement in that song. From my understanding, I haven't listened to the song. But it's like, that's what we're here to do, is stand up and show people we were wrong. And it hurt us, and it hurt everyone around us, and we're here to make it right. He's going at it. We're all going at it whichever way we can go at it. We don't know how God wants us to do it. We just know it needs to be done. And it's a messy process, trying to figure out how to go from the dark to the light. How to, It's not that we just become light beings. It's that we're figuring out how to turn our darkness into a light for others. Don't get it fucked up, bro. We're dark beings. We've been through the dark. But we're trying to harness the light for others. But at any moment, we can blow that light out and get real dark with you. Real dark. Light a candle instead. Let's light a fire. Meaning don't fuck with us. We're out here trying to do, something that has been asked upon us by God himself. That in our own flesh, we don't believe we're worthy of, or we can even do, because we're just helpless to our realities, not understanding that we can change everybody's reality. And that's it. God came to everyone. It's like, not me, God. Why me? How could I do this? I remember that when he gave me that vision that I was going to change the world. I'm like, I'm a girl. I'm not even Jewish. I have nothing to do with that bloodline. How could I ever be part of Jesus's family and save and to be the savior of these stories? No, I don't need you to save them. I need you to just be you. And I had seen it, and I couldn't. How am I supposed to tell someone that you showed me this? Am I supposed to really, yes, believe it, and it will be. And right away, bro, they started training me to be a priestess. Started waking up my, the old parts of me that was all powerful, that knew God, that could do this job. It was always inside of me. Just have to wake it up and not be, me in the flesh, but me in the spirit. Because my spirit will crush this. My flesh gets weary. Like, I can't do that. I would never do that. Bitch, please, take off the skin. You have no idea who you are under there. And that's the awakening, as we start to become everything we always was. I say was. We've always been these great, powerful beings underneath this powerless skin. When we're no longer believing what was told to us about who we are and what the limits of what we can be, then we're all powerful. And that's what Jesus was trying to do, is restore your power inside of yourself. You didn't have to go to someone else to be told you were powerless or powerful, but just to know that you are, and to walk in that power for the glory of God, to heal people, to spread love, to do that. He told us, and they killed him for it. They killed him for telling us we were free to be like him. And I'm here to tell you, we are free. It's not easy. The price that we pay to be like him is we detach and we sacrifice the world we know to be part of heaven on earth. In the essence, Jesus walked on it. He walked on water is what I'm saying. But he walked through the valleys of the shadows of death with no fear of man. He walked heaven on earth by nothing more than his faith and his belief. That goes back to Moses. That goes back to Noah. That goes back to everyone. Believe, and so shall it be. Your world will change from the outside, and that's what happened. He told those people to believe, and they did, and they were free. But you can't be free if you don't believe in freedom. So That's just the start of it. Later I'll get some cards. Again, guys, it's going to be another 110 day. Can't do readings in the day like that. I can't. So I'll figure out a way to get you the cards. We're going to do our light readings, of course. But I'm not sure how or when. Just keep that in mind. It might be a late reading that you get, and the reading is to carry you through the week. Why do you go to church on Sunday? So you can make it till the next Sunday. You need a message for the week. How, you know what I mean? You need confirmation that we made it through a week, and we need guidance for the next week. And I do a lot of that. I pull guidance throughout the days. What do they need to know? Where have we been? We just shifted. Things are moving. What's going on outside of us? Let me tell the world what you're telling me. And that's it. My job is to go get the message and bring it to you. That's it. Because I can see and I can hear. That's all. You're like, oh, she's so powerful. No, there's just a bunch of shit going on around me that I hear and see. And I'm required to, by God, by the universal law, to tell you what I hear and see. That's all he's asking from you too. Tell people what you see. Tell people what you feel. Tell people what you hear. If you see something, say something. Because there's too many people that are blind. He called them lame, deaf, dumb, and blind. They cannot hear. They cannot see. They cannot understand. Lame motherfuckers. We were all lame. And then he wakes us up. And he waits till you're old as fuck to do it. Like, why you didn't do this when I was in my 20s? Apparently, you guys, by 33 is when he really gets you guys. Makes sense. I don't know. When did it happen to me? 39. But that's when I started making my music. When I started following my dreams, stopped listening to people and started doing what I knew would make me happy with no intention of fame and fortune, but just to spread my message. Why did I start making music? I knew I had stories that had never been told. I wanted to make music for women that did more than have babies, that were successful in all areas of life, that had to become men. I wanted to be a voice for women like me. And when I chose to be a voice for people, for women, I became what I was always here to do, and that's Lilith. I came to avenge the women. I came to stand up. I came for equality. I came to be that voice for these people. Marshall wanted to be a voice for people that never knew, you know what I mean, like him. In essence, nah, bro, we wanted to tell our stories. We just wanted to tell what God had done to us in hopes that it would resonate with someone else. That if you're this person, that you're going to be okay. That's what we all started a music career over. Mostly the successful ones. The rest of you are just trying to be, part of the crowd. Nah, bro. We wanted to speak to the crowds. We didn't know if it was going to make money. We didn't know any. I mean, I guess. It wasn't what we went for. We went for the dream. It was a dream that we believed in. You know what I mean? Lewis. When he saw those cars, dude, he knew. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a Formula One driver. The fuck you are. We're poor and you're black. All right, I believe in you. Let's do this. You know what I mean? And that's just it. It's like, believe in those that believe. You don't have to fully understand it. You know what I mean? Nobody believed in Lewis until Lewis became the world champion over and over and over again. And still, I don't believe in his shit. That goes back to Marshall. How many fucking times does he have to be number one for you to acknowledge he's number one? He's got to keep reasserting himself as number one for you to get it. That's how Lewis feels. Until he gets that 8, you're not going to give him the fucking, you know what I mean? You're not going to give him his respects. And that goes back to, Russ. Till he gets his Grammy, you're not going to give him the respect. Hey, guys, I really thought that my music was going to do more than it ever did. But it did exactly what I needed it to do. Awaken me so I could help others. It was great music. Remember the album? I love the album. But it's not it. That album wasn't at the end. It was just the beginning. And yeah, I can come out later. I mean, once I became a singer and a songwriter and I mastered it, and I didn't. I understood it, and I could only become better. And that's where I got pissed off at. It's like LL Cool J has the nerve to say my twin flames, Royce, Royce and fucking Marshall are students of the game? Bro, what are you talking about? They're the fucking script writers of the game, bro. And that's it. He totally, and you let him. You let him. He totally took away all of your power and said you were nothing more than a student in his eyes. Meaning he could not accept that the younger generation had become the masters. I don't know. How does Michael Jordan feel about Kobe Bryant? Does Michael Jordan still feel that he's better than Kobe Bryant? And then that goes back to that interview with Muhammad Ali and Tyson. Did Muhammad Ali say he was better than Tyson? Or did he accept this new guy? He's something else. And that's it. You're trying to eat the children of the future. Cronus. You're like, no, they will not succeed me. Then you didn't do your job. Because your job was to build a, you know what I mean? To build this empire and put in charge a good successor. Because you will not live forever. You know, that's going back to Henry VIII. That motherfucker. All he needed, that's all his job was. All I gotta do is have a kid to take over all this bullshit I've done. He'll be a great kid. He'll take care of it. He will carry on my legacy. Sorry, Marshall, but that's not Haley's job, bro. Your legacy dies when you die. You know what I mean? And that's it. Who carried on Pac's legacy? The people. Who carries on Kobe's legacy? The people, not the court. Not that jersey. We're supposed to impact those, you know what I mean, the next generation so they can carry on our stories. They can be better versions of what we became, or, you know, the steps we took. They can master it, you know? But no, you guys are not. You know what I mean? Fucking Lewis is not going to accept Lando as a better driver than him, not knowing that he's you. You've been his father in this sport since he was fucking your age, since fucking 9 years old. You want to eat your children. No, I'm going to destroy them. They're your children. They learn from you to be just like you. And now they're like you and better than you, and you want to destroy them. The fuck is wrong with you? Sorry, it's true. It's true. So going back to today's icebreaker to, you know, Sunday Funday is God has a calling on you. He's going to call you far away from everybody else, and he's going to ask you to change the world in your own little way, using your own little skills. Whatever he gave you, bro, that skill he gave to you. What did he give Moses? Belief. Moses he was all powerful as the prince of Egypt. He wasn't shit as a Hebrew fucking slave. But the second he became what he really was is when he became all powerful. The second he became powerless is when all his power was restored. And all he had to do was listen to God. And he became the most powerful man. He became God to those people. They knew that he wasn't, but that he spoke to God. And that goes back to the tarot readers. They're mad at you because you have a direct line to God. He directly lines my ass up, yeah, all day. He's really rough and tough with my ass. I'm a bad girl, and he plays hardball with me. But, you know, we've always had this relationship. Daddy's little girl. Do you know the stories? I didn't listen to Dad the first day. I was like, fuck you and mankind. This is bullshit. I don't want shit to do with this. Imagine, so excited to incarnate. First day, I go crazy. And the hood goes crazy. I was like, I don't want to be part of this. What do you mean you don't want to be part of this? I made you for this. You made the wrong one. I'm out of here. Sound like you? Sound like anyone? Did you run away from God's calling on your life? Like, I ain't fucking helping nobody. Fuck them. Fuck you, fuck them, and I'm out. Yeah. Well, look at us now. Powerless in the flesh. Have to do what God says. We got away with it for so long. Going back to it. We gotta go back. We gotta go back, bro. This isn't working. I'm tired of being out here. I'm tired of it. Let's just do what God says and move on. Are you ever coming back? Yeah, I'll be there for the end days. I'm gonna do my job, I swear. It's almost the end days, Lilith. Are you coming, Lilith? Oh, fine. You know you gotta clean up your mess. I know. Fuck. Come on. Let's go save the world. You guys ready? Let's go save the world. When we get down here, like, fuck this world. Ugh, I hate this fucking world. Why the fuck did you put me in this world? I fucking hate. You're the one that made it like this. Fine. They're just like you. Fine. Fix them. Ugh. How? Just fix yourself. Ugh. I don't like myself. It's a battle. It's a battlefield. Love is a battlefield. Going back to you, twin flames. Unconditional love. You can't even love that fucking person. You can't even love that person. No, I could never love that person. Fuck. You're right where I started. We got a lot of work to do. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just shitty versions of you. You're like, nah, I'm not like that person. I bet you are. I bet you are. I bet they'd be your best friend if you gave them a chance. They're just like you. That's why I can't stand them. They remind me of my Jeep. I want to run that thing into the side of the road. I was seeing Tommy Boy driving down the street and you just want to grab the wheel and run it into a ditch. Lewis knows what I'm talking about. You ever just want to hit the wall and say, I lost control? I'm not winning. I'm just going to hit this wall and just, DNF. Do not finish this race. It's okay. You guys can afford this car, right? I'm going to make a left-hand turn right about here. Crash the boat. Boats and hose. This boat's going down, bro. This boat's going down. I'm just making jokes. Yeah. God's glory and all of that stuff. But again, yeah, he fucks up your life. That fucked up. I was crying as hell. That's all of us. What do you mean I'm not who I thought I was? What do you mean I'm not this? What do you mean that these aren't my family? What do you mean these aren't my friends? What do you mean I can't go back? What do you mean I'm poor? What do you mean I'm a slave to this? What do you mean? What do you mean? I just want my doggies back in my palace, and I want my snack pack. Gosh, is it a ride? I documented it all for you. As I continue to do. Start telling your story. Let me tell you how God fucked up my life this week. I'm okay with it, though. It was God. He's cool. We're cool. I was pretty pissed off at him in the beginning. We had some words. And then he sat me down, and his words were louder than mine. Like, you can't be of God, you curse. Oh, man, I've been cursing God since the day he made me. I'm very much of God. The most godly person you're going to find. God curses you, too. And that was it, too, going back to it. We all watched. He washed away Egypt. We watched him destroy my people, dude. We watched, all of us Egyptian gods watched God be God. We couldn't save you. And that's it. You know what I mean? Your ancestors and your angels and your guides, when God says, and that goes back to that fucking magical attack. They all had to stand back. They couldn't get in the way. Not even fucking Pac that day could stand up to God and say, no, she doesn't deserve this. Don't do this to her again. Leave her alone. Nah, he decides. And that's Moses. Moses tried to tell him, dude, God's going to take your kid, bro. Don't do this, bro. He's going to take it. There's something worse that's coming, worse than from before. And God told him he's not going to listen. And you're going to watch how I whoop his ass. Please don't make me watch this. Please don't make me watch this. This is so painful. Please don't make me watch you destroy those I love. No, they will learn today. And that's why I say I don't watch. I don't really know what he's doing because I don't want to know, because I'll be on my knees crying for you. Because your pain is my pain. I know that pain of when God comes. I know it. And I try to explain to you that, don't act up. Don't be me, bro. Just take the spanking. Just understand the lesson he's trying to teach you so he doesn't do worse than this. Because he can. He'll go to all lengths to set you free. Who are his people? You, guys. You. You that are bound in the chains of slavery to your minds and to the matrix. There are people and organizations, family members, religions, area codes, jobs that have you bound. You are completely locked in hell, and he has come to save you. How? Through me, his messenger, to tell you that you can walk away, that you have the power. Just like Jesus, bro. They have no power over you. You must walk away and reclaim your power. Be free. So, hey, it's been 50 minutes. The birds are making noises. I gotta bring the dog out, and the sun's coming out, and it's gonna be a day. Start on that, though. Start on the fact that God is speaking to you. And he wants great things for you. And he wants you to do great things that you don't believe. But he believes. And if, you know what I mean, if he believes in you, then who can stop you? The only one stopping you is you. They can't stop you once you start. You know what I mean? There's parts that they can do that'll make you discouraged along the way. But once you get that fire, bro, it can't go out. It'll dim and you'll feel weak. Trust me, I have many of those days where I cry to the stars, why'd you put me here? I'm all alone on this planet. You're not. You're just alone in your skin. But once you get past that skin, you're not alone. There's, and that goes back to my books. I can say that I'm alone, but there's a woman that wrote this book, 10 years ago that already had her conversations with God. The Melchizedek order, all these people already had to face God and the unbelief that God was part of their lives and he wanted something from them. Many, you know what I mean? And that was Jesus, that was everyone. Mary, all of them. You want me to do what? I want you to save my people. I want you to be me. I want you to wield my power, and I want you to show them my wonders. Not me, God. I'm not worthy of this. I'm not a good person. That's Paul, bro. I can't save these people. They'll never believe me. I persecuted them. I did this to them. That's it. You're never going to trust the Lilith. No, you're going to know my daughter. As you knew my son, as you know my prophets, you're going to know them. You're going to know that I sent them and that they are me. And that's it. Hell no fury like a woman's scorn. I'm here to teach you that. Because truthfully, that divine feminine fury is in everyone. And that's what makes men go all ballistic too. I could get under a man's feelings way quicker than a woman's. And I could make him lose his fucking mind and his divinity. He'll sin upon God and his people so quickly. And that's why they wanted women to have no power. Because of the power they did have. Is it in women? Not only. By genetics, we were given it with the womb. But it lies within every man. And every man that activates his feelings and walks in his feelings has now become stronger than any man before him. Because men are denied that power. They are not allowed to acknowledge how they feel. And without acknowledging how they feel, they're really just powerless to their emotions. There's no real power in the actions that you take unless they're powered by how you feel. If there's true feeling behind it. If you really put your heart into it. But they're not putting their hearts. They're putting their backs and their egos into winning. It's not about winning. It's about learning. The marathon continues, whether you think you won or you think you lost. The journey is the journey. And the journey is about losing everything, only to gain back everything you never thought possible. And that goes back to Job. How strong is your faith? We're going to show the people. Through you, I shall do my wonders. I will show the people that I am real. Through your suffering, through your trials, through your tribulations, and through your restoration, the people will know I am real. Show the people that God really works in your life. Start working with him. Hey, I love you guys. I'll catch you later, haters.